Good morning, students. Today we shall start with a new chapter, Life on the Earth. So, let us begin. By now, you might have realized that all units of this book have acquainted you with the three major realms of the environment, that is, the lithosphere, the atmosphere, and the hydrosphere. You know that living organisms of the earth constitute the biosphere, interact with other environmental realms. The biosphere includes all the living components of the earth. It consists of all the plants and animals, including all the microorganisms that live on the planet Earth and their interactions with the surrounding environment. Most of the organisms exist on the lithosphere and or the hydrosphere as well as in the atmosphere. There are also many organisms that move freely from one realm to another. Life on the earth is found almost everywhere. Living organisms are found from the poles to the equator, from the bottom of the sea to several kilometers in the air, from freezing waters to dry valleys, from under the sea to underground water lying below the earth's surface. तो लाइफ जो है अर्थ पे हर जगह प्रेजेंट है, चाहे वो हाइड्रोस्फीयर की बात करें, एटमॉस्फेयर की बात करें, लिथोस्फीयर की बात करें, कहीं की भी हम जहाँ की बात करते हैं, लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर प्रेजेंट एवरीवेयर. देयर फॉर्म्स आर डिफरेंट, सो वी फाइंड लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स ऑल ओवर. Now, the biosphere and its components are very significant elements of the environment. These elements interact with other components of the natural landscape such as land, water and soil. तो बायोस्फीयर पे जो भी जितने भी एलिमेंट्स हैं, इनका बराबर इंटरेक्शन होता रहता है एक दूसरे के साथ, चाहे वो नेचुरल लैंड हो, वाटर हो, सॉइल हो या एक दूसरे के साथ. दे आर ऑल्सो इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द एटमॉस्फेरिक एलिमेंट्स such as temperature, rainfall, moisture, and sunlight. The interactions of biosphere with land, air, and water are important to the growth, development, and evolution of organisms. So, बायोस्फीयर और उसकी जो कंपोनेंट्स हैं उनमें एक बराबर इंटरेक्शन चलता रहता है, एंड दिस इंटरेक्शन इज़ वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट for their growth and development. Next, ecology. You have been reading about ecological and environmental problems in newspapers and magazines. Have you ever thought what ecology is? The environment, as you know, is made up of abiotic and biotic components. It would be interesting to understand how the diversity of life forms is maintained to bring a kind of balance. This balance is maintained in a particular proportion so that a healthy interaction between the biotic and abiotic components goes on. The interactions of a particular group of organisms with abiotic factors within a particular habitat, resulting in clearly defined energy flows and material cycles on land, water, and air, are called ecological systems. Now, let us read what is ecology. The term ecology is derived from the Greek word oikos, meaning house, combined with the word logy, which means the science or the study of. So, literally, ecology is the study of the earth as a household of plants, human beings, animals, and microorganisms. So, what is ecology basically? It means that it is the house of all plants, human beings, animals, and microorganisms. They all live together as interdependent components. वो सब एक दूसरे पे dependent हैं. A German geologist, Ernst Haeckel, who used the term ecology in 1869, became the first person to use the term ecology. The study of interactions between life forms and the physical environment, abiotic, is the science of ecology. So, what is the science of ecology? It is the study of interactions between the life forms and the physical environment. Life forms is biotic, physical environment means abiotic. Hence, ecology can be defined as a scientific study of interactions of organisms with their physical environment and with each other. Now, next is habitat. A habitat in the ecological sense is the totality of the physical and chemical factors that constitute the general environment. तो habitat क्या हुई? जो भी एनिमल या ह्यूमन बीइंग या कोई भी ऑर्गेनिज्म है वो जिस फिजिकल कंडीशंस में रहता है, जो फैक्टर्स उसको अफेक्ट करते हैं, जो उसके एनवायरनमेंट जो उसको इफेक्ट करता है, दैट इज़ द हैबिटेट ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर organism. A system consisting of biotic and abiotic components is known as ecosystem. अब ecosystem क्या हुआ कि एक सिस्टम जिसमें बायोटिक और अबायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स हैं, it is called ecosystem. All these components in ecosystem are interrelated and interact with each other. Different types of ecosystems exist with varying ranges of environmental conditions where various plants and animals species have got adapted through evolution. This phenomena is known as ecological adaptation. तो अब यहाँ तक हमने बहुत सारी definitions कर ली. I'll just explain them to you one by one. First of all, we came to the word the biosphere. Now, what is the biosphere? It means the part of the earth in which all life forms exist. It is a zone of contact between the three realms of the earth. Which are the three realms? Atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. Human beings, they are one of the species of this biosphere. Now, second, we came across the term ecosystem. What is ecosystem? The interaction between organisms of the physical environment is called the ecosystem. And ecosystem, it has two types of components, biotic and abiotic. Biotic are living beings and abiotic are non-living beings. Then we came across the term ecology. Ecology, the word, it has been derived from the Greek word oikos. It means house. Combined with the word logy, it means science. Thus, ecology is the science of the earth as a household. In other words, ecology, it is the scientific study of interactions of organisms with their physical environment and with each other. समझ में आया what is ecology? Ecology, as the word denotes, it is the science of the earth as a household. Science of the earth. It studies about the earth. Now, ecological system. What is ecological system? Ecosystem, what does it mean? It means ecosystem we have done. Habitat. In the ecological sense, a habitat is the totality of the physical and chemical factors that constitute the general environment. So, what is the habitat? It is the totality of physical and chemical factors. जो physical और chemical factors है which constitute the general environment. हम कहते हैं ना इस जानवर का so and so, टाइगर का ये habitat है. This is their way of living. This is the physical and chemical factors that influence their way of living. So, that is habitat. Next is biome. A biome is a plant and animal community that covers a vast geographical area. So, it is a plant and animal community that covers a vast geographical area. Biomes, they are divided into various different parts. अभी हम आगे biome के बारे में और डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे. Biotic factors are those factors which include producers, primary, secondary and tertiary, the consumers and decomposers. अभी सब हम आगे पढ़ने वाले हैं. What are primary producers, what are secondary, what are tertiary producers, who are consumers, who are decomposers. So biotic factors include all these. And abiotic factors that include physical characteristics like temperature, air pressure, rainfall, sunlight, atmospheric humidity, soil conditions, non-living substances like carbon dioxide, water, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, etc. They are all abiotic factors. So, these are all the definitions that we have studied up till now. Now, let's continue with the chapter. It is type of ecosystems. Ecosystems are of two major types, terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial ecosystems can be further classified into biomes. A biome is a plant and animal community that covers a large geographical area. So, what is a biome? I told you. It is a plant and animal community that covers a large geographical area. The boundaries of different biomes on land are determined mainly by climate. Therefore, a biome can be defined as the total assemblage of plant and animal species interacting within specific conditions. These include rainfall, temperature, humidity, and soil conditions. Some of the major biomes of the world are forest, grassland, desert, and tundra biomes. तो बायोम समझ में आया क्या है? ये एक प्लांट या एनिमल कम्युनिटी है जो बहुत बड़े जोग्राफिकल एरिया को कवर करती है और जो बाउंड्रीज है डिफरेंट बायोम्स की, they are determined by the climatic conditions. So, a biome can also be defined as the total assemblage of plant and animal species interacting with specific conditions. और ये specific conditions है rainfall, temperature, humidity और soil conditions. Okay, aquatic ecosystems can be classified as marine and freshwater ecosystems. Marine ecosystem includes the oceans, estuaries, coral reefs and coral reefs. Freshwater ecosystems include lakes, ponds, streams, marshes and bogs. तो ये aquatic biomes हैं. Aquatic ecosystem में कैसे classify कर सकते हैं? इनको हम marine और freshwater ecosystem में क्लासिफाई कर सकते हैं. तो मराइन इकोसिस्टम में क्या आते हैं? ओशंस, एस्चुरीज और कोरल रीफ्स. और फ्रेश वाटर इकोसिस्टम्स में आते हैं आपके लेक्स, पॉन्ड्स, स्ट्रीम्स, मार्शेस एंड बॉग्स. नेक्स्ट इज स्ट्रक्चर एंड फंक्शंस ऑफ इकोसिस्टम्स. द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एन इकोसिस्टम इंक्लूड्स a description of the available plant and animal species. From a structural point of view, all ecosystems consist of abiotic and biotic factors. Abiotic factors include rainfall, temperature, sunlight, atmosphere, humidity, soil conditions, inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, etc. And biotic factors, they include the producers, the consumers, that is primary, secondary and tertiary, and the decomposers. The producers include all the green plants which manufacture their own food through photosynthesis. The primary consumers include herbivorous animals like deer, goats, mice, and all the plant eating animals. The carnivorous include all the flesh eating animals that feed also on carnivores that feed on the carnivores include all the flesh eating animals like snakes, tigers, and lions. Certain carnivores that feed also on carnivores are known as top carnivores like hawks and mongooses. Decomposers are those that feed on dead organisms. For example, scavengers like vultures and crows, and further breaking down of the dead matter by other decomposing agents like bacteria and various microorganisms. So now you must have understood that all the ecosystems, they consist of two factors, abiotic factors and biotic factors. Abiotic factors are those factors which include physical environment like rainfall, temperature, sunlight, atmospheric humidity, soil conditions, inorganic substances. And all these factors, they are abiotic factors. Then biotic factors which include the producers. अब producers कौन से हैं? ये देखो इस डायग्राम में the producers, all the green plants, they are the producers. Okay, then these producers they feed the primary consumers. Primary consumers include all the herbivorous animals like deer, goats, mice, and all plant eating animals. Then these primary consumers, they feed the secondary consumers which are carnivorous. Okay, secondary consumers are carnivorous, and the secondary consumers, they feed the tertiary consumers which are top carnivorous. Okay, so the producers, they feed the primary consumers which include the herbivorous animals like deers, goat, mice, and all plant eating animals. And the carnivores include all the flesh eating animals like snakes, tigers, and lions. And certain carnivores, they also feed the carnivores which are known as top carnivores. Okay, which include hawks, mongooses, etc. Now, decomposers, last we come to the decomposers. Decomposers are those that feed on the dead organisms. For example, scavengers like vultures and crow, which feed on dead animals, bodies, or dead plants, and so on. And further breaking down of the dead matter by other decomposing agents like bacteria and various microorganisms. So, the producers, they are consumed by the primary consumers, and whereas the primary consumers are in turn, they are being eaten by the secondary consumers. Further, the secondary consumers are consumed by the tertiary consumers. The decomposers, they feed on the dead at each and every level. They change them into various substances such as nutrients, organic and inorganic salts essential for soil fertility. So, organisms of an ecosystem are linked together through a food chain. All the organisms, they are linked together by a food chain. For example, a plant eating beetle feeding on a paddy stalk is eaten by a frog, which in turn is eaten by a snake, which is then consumed by a hawk. This sequence of eating and being eaten and the resultant transfer of energy from one level to another is known as the food chain. So, you understand what is the food chain? Now, transfer of energy that occurs during the process of food chain from one level to another is known as flow of energy. However, food chains are not isolated from one another. For example, A mouse feeding on grain may be eaten by different secondary consumers, that is carnivores, and these carnivores may be eaten by different tertiary consumers. In such situations, each of the carnivores may consume more than one type of prey. As a result, the food chains get interlocked with one another. This interconnecting network of species is known as the food web. Generally, two types of food chains are recognized: grazing food chain and detritus food chain. Now, what is grazing food chain and detritus food chain? In a grazing food chain, the first level starts with plants as producers and ends with carnivores as consumers at the last level, with the herbivores being at the intermediate level. Herbivores बीच में आएंगे, carnivores जो last level पे और producers first level पे. There's a loss of energy at each level, which may be through respiration, excretion, or decomposition. The levels involved in a food chain range between 3 to 5, and energy is lost at each level. है ना, 3 to 5 उसकी stages हो सकती हैं और हर लेवल पे एनर्जी लॉस होता है. अब detritus food chain क्या हुई? It is based on autotrophs energy capture initiated by grazing animals and involves the decomposition or breaking down of organic waste and dead matter derived from the grazing food chain. Detritus food chain जो है, it starts with the dead organic materials, okay, on which decomposers, that is fungi and bacteria, they feed. They degrade the dead organic matter or detritus to meet their energy and nutrient requirements. For example, leaves fallen from a tree during winters. Okay, so this is detritus. Now, in this chapter, they've used one word, autotrophs. Autotrophs is an organism which is capable of synthesizing its own food from the inorganic substances using light or chemical energy. Green plants, algae, and certain bacteria, they are all examples of autotrophs. Okay, now next is types of biomes. In the earlier paragraphs, you have learned that meaning of the term biome. Let us now try to identify the major biomes in the world. There are 5 major biomes. They are forest, desert, grassland, aquatic and altitudinal biomes. Some features of these biomes are given in table 15.1. So, we'll see the table 15.1. They've given us the various biomes, and this is on page number 126. It has given us the world biomes. The first is the forest, the desert, the grasslands, the aquatic, and the altitudinal. So in the forest we have subtypes: tropical, temperate, and boreal. Now, where they are found, regions where they are found, the climatic characteristics in another column, the soil conditions, and the flora and fauna found in these biomes. Then again, they've given us the desert over here. Then desert also, types: hot and dry desert, semi-arid desert, coastal desert, cold desert. And then again, they've given us the regions where they are found, then the climatic conditions, then the soil type that is found over here, and the flora and fauna that is available. Again, in the grassland, same, they've given us the subtypes, the regions, the subtypes, the regions where they are found, the soil type that is required, and again the flora and fauna. In the same way, they've given us about aquatic and altitudinal. So this you can do from this table 15.1. Now, next is biogeochemical cycles.